Datila, and welcome to TNAIW Go Power Rankings show. As always, I'm joined by my co-host Burt Maclin. No relation to Steve Maclin, but I do think he does bear some resemblance to Steve Maclin.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Alrighty, so who do you expect to see on the Power Rankings this week?
Well, I would definitely expect, and it'd be well-deserved to see Heath and Rhino on there, new tag team champs. And I just think that, yeah, like I said, I think they deserve to be on there. And I also just normal people like Josh Alexander, Jordan Grace, they are world champions, and they deserve a spot in the rankings every week. So those are the four I would think to look out for.
For me, I expect to see, of course, the new tag team champions, Heath and Rhino. I expect to see, the usual champions on there. Although I'm not expecting to see the Deadfalls on there. Because even though they are the tag team champions, knockouts tag team champions, did they really deserve a spot on this week's Power Rankings? I mean, they weren't even on the show.
Yeah.
And it's no disrespect to them. They're great champions. But we have to this plays into a lot that goes into the rankings, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I would. And I do. It's a culmination of, I think, of what are you doing that week, but what have you been doing, in the grand scheme of things, the bigger picture. But appearing on that show every week matters the most, I would say.
All right. But with that being said, before we get into any further discussion about the Power Rankings, Burt, how do you join the Power Rankings?
Are you sitting there thinking to yourself, is something missing from my life? Is it making a top 10 every week? Well, if it is, join the Power Rankings. If you watch Impact and you want to make a quick top 10, just message me at Burt Maclin 11 and we'll get you in the rankings.
Unless you're a Melvin. Burt does not like Melvins. I don't know how many times you have to say that.
There anymore. So, but yes.
We're just playing, you guys. Anybody's welcome.
Yeah.
All right, but with that being said, let's play these Power Rankings. Number 10, Vex and Giselle Shaw. Number 9, I Believe in Joe Henry. Number 8, All Night Long, Rich Swann. Number 7, CYS winner Bully Ray and Tommy Dreamer. Number 6, Taylor Wilde. Number 5, Option C, Frankie Kazarian. Number 4, Perfect Creation 1 PCO. Number 3, World Champion Jordan Grace. Number 2, World Champion Josh Alexander. Number 1, new Tag Team Champions Heath and Rhino. Okay, so I have to say, let's start with, again, number 10, Vex and Giselle Shaw. I think we talked about them last week, but I just want to bring it up. Number 10. So, like I said, they're not the Knockouts Tag Team Champions, but yet they should be. They should be. I agree with you. They should be Tag Team Champions. I don't know why they're not Tag Team Champions, but I think about this up last week. They did beat the Deadfalls in a 6 knockout tag match, and yet this week they appeared on Impact, but the Deadfalls didn't. So, based on what we know on how we rank the Power Rankings, do you think the Vex and Giselle Shaw deserve that number 10 spot, or should the Deadfalls, because they are the Knockouts champions, should be in that spot instead?
Again, normally being champions would carry a lot of weight for me and everyone that usually votes, and I would think people who watch the show. But like I said last week, momentum matters, and I just think that Vex, especially adding Giselle Shaw, it's a whole new layer to that group, and I think that they have the momentum right now. They're the hotter faction. They're more over. I just think that's what it explains itself.
I couldn't have explained that better than myself, Burt. I think you did a really good job at explaining that. All right. So I would say number 9, I Believe in Joe Henry, because I do believe in Joe Henry. this is his first time ever being in the power rankings, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I believe so, and it's welcome to the power rankings. I'm not sold just yet. I think he has a great look. If you look at him, he looks like he should be what people would think as a star. He's a big guy. He looks like he can work. On the other hand, I don't like the video package. I think they border on the line of corniness. They're a little like a public access for me. And then part of me just I see it with the catchphrase a little Bo Dallas in there. And I just wish I like the cockiness of him. I like the gimmick. I like where it could go. But I want to see more. But welcome to the power rankings and well deserved to Joe Hendry.
So I do have to say, Joe Hendry, I think well deserved at number 9 spot. This was his big in-ring debut for Impact, and his match might not have been, I don't want to call it a squash match because Jason Hotch did get some offense in there, but it was a short match, and I think it was just a little bit of what he can do, just a little demonstration. So I think the number 9 spot is well deserved for him. I think that he's okay at that spot. Number 10 would have also been okay, but I just think that because he had a match and won, he deserves that 9 spot over Vex and Giselle Shaw, who did not have a match this week and just came out to beat down Taylor Wilde and Mickie James.
And Jason Hotch is growing on me a little bit well, showing some personality. I want to see how he develops. So
me too. I like him.
Yeah.
Okay. So number 8, All Night Long, Rich Swann. I'm surprised.
Welcome back to the power rankings, by the way, Rich Swann. I feel like he hasn't been here in a while, and it's welcome back, Rich Swann. He's been looking really good lately in the ring.
Yeah, I definitely do think that he has been improving. Gotten a lot better. I'm surprised though he's at number 8. Like, what do you think caused him to be at number 8 as opposed to be like number 9 or 10?
I just think he's good. He's a fan favorite. He's constantly over, and then getting a win doesn't hurt. So him being number 8 makes sense to me.
Okay, I'm good. Let's go with that. He did beat Eric Young, so that does count for something. Because Eric Young had previously, not just Eric Young, but Violent by Design as a group had previously been on the power rankings, and to not see them on here and yet see Rich Swann on there, Rich Swann must be doing something right to earn his place on the power rankings.
I do expect to see VBD on the rankings in the future, though. Maybe not next week, because something is brewing with that faction, as you saw at the end of that match. So something is happening.
Definitely. I think so. And the fact that Sami Callihan came out, I guess that might mean that we might get, in the words of Teddy Long, a tag team match player. Holla.
There's always room for random tag team matches.
That is so true. Okay, so let's talk about I don't mean this as a disrespect to number 7 or to number 6, but I want to go ahead and talk about number 5, option C, Frankie Kazarian, because Homeboy has had quite the last couple of weeks. I mean, he won X Division champion. Now he's invoking option C. So it's like, does he deserve to be number 5 on this week's power rankings? Because he came out this week and he cut an incredible promo. I personally like that promo. I think that promo alone, yes, he may not have wrestled a match, but I think that promo alone constitutes his place on this week's power rankings.
Definitely, that promo was phenomenal. AJ. But I think that he deserves to be number 5. He's one of 2 contenders, and I do think that, as obviously he's getting his shot first, as it would appear, unless Bully Ray calls, a random match, from between that point. But yeah, number 5. I don't think that's too low. I don't think that's too high for Kazarian. I'm fine with that.
Okay, so number 4 is the one I really wanted to talk about. The Perfect Creation 1 PCO. Is that what PCO stands for?
Well, I think that's what they're saying in Impact now. So yeah, I believe so.
I was like, I didn't know that's what PCO stood for.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah.
Well, anywho, I knew PCO was going to be on this week's Power Rankings. I didn't know what number he would land, but I think that PCO rightfully deserved to be in the top 5, and because he's was the most over member in Honor No More, and spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen this week's episode of Impact Wrestling, he pretty much beat down Honor No More and broke free of Honor No More. So I feel like he's rightfully earned that spot at number 4. Would I like to see him at number 3, number 2? Probably. Hell, maybe even number 1. But unfortunately, because he is not wearing any gold around his waist, I feel like 4 is as high as he can go, right? Because as you said, champions do hold a lot of weight on the power rankings.
But the way he closed out this show, definitely it warrants being number 4. And I'm not saying that's the highest he could be, but number 4 it's not anything to sneeze at. You know what I mean? It's pretty high. So congratulations, PCO.
Yes, congratulations. But tell me, what would PCO, well, maybe not necessarily PCO, but anybody else, what would they have to do to take Josh Alexander's spot in either number, usually because normally I'm saying Josh Alexander's number 1. So what would they have to do to take that number 1 spot?
I just think it's all about, like, again, how much interest you have in the storyline that you're in from the fans and the people watching, and then just again how you're the result in the show that you have each week. If you finish the show strong, if you cut an amazing promo, that's not as big as having a great match, but it's not hard to it's hard to be the number 1 if you're not the champion, but it's not impossible.
It's just hard.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of the number 1 spot, number 1, new tag team champions Heath and Rhino. If you ask me, they certainly deserve the number 1 spot this week. A culmination of what I would say a nearly 10-month storyline with Honor No More, them taking the tag titles off of Matt Taven and Mike Bennett. Sorry. So I think it was rightfully deserved that they take the number 1 spot this week. I know that Josh Alexander is the world champion, and that holds the most weight out of any champion in Impact. And Josh Alexander probably should be number 1. But when you look at what Josh Alexander did this week versus Heath and Rhino winning the tag titles, I think Heath and Rhino rightfully deserve the number 1 spot.
And it's exactly what you said. It's like anybody who watches like a TV show, the thing that you hate the most is when it gets abruptly canceled and there's just a bunch of loose ends they don't tie up. So them winning the tag team champions is just a nice little bow on the package of this storyline. Like they wrapped it up nice and tightly. It's what the fans probably wanted to see. It's what made sense the most. And yeah, now Heath and Rhino are the new champs.
And and this is no disrespect to Heath and Rhino or anything. Honestly, at first, when the first saw them take the titles, I would have preferred Motor City Machine Gun to have taken the titles at Bound for Glory. But storyline wise, it made the most sense for Heath and Rhino to take it because, the whole reason Heath was by himself was because Honor No More took out Rhino. So like you said, this just added to their storyline and it wrapped it up in a nice little bow.
And the more teams that the company has faith to put the titles on just shows that there's depth in the division. So it's not like a few months ago where it just seemed like the belts were stagnant when the Good Brothers were holding it and it was really nothing was happening. And now you can see there are a lot of teams. You got the Motor City Machine Guns, Heath and Rhino, there's Bullet Club, there's Decay. So a lot's happening. This division's a lot better than what people give it credit for or what it seemed to be a few months ago.
Definitely. Good, nice words spoken, Burt. Those were some nice words. So who do you expect to see on the Power Rankings next week?
Well, I would hope to see, again, like I said, the top 3, I don't see them going anywhere. Their position in the rankings are pretty much there to stay as of right now, as them being champions, as them being, in the forefront of the show. But like I said, I think Rich One is momentum is growing. I expect to see him. And VBD, look out for them. And then of course Vex, I would expect to see them higher as they just continue to get more and more on a roll.
Me, I expect to still continue to see Vex. I do expect to see the champions on there. I expect to see Black Taurus on there next week. I know we're having that tournament for the new X Division champion soon. So I like Laredo Kid, but I don't expect him to get past Black Taurus. And I think it's going to be in a great match. And Black Taurus has been on a roll as of late. You know, I believe he even won his match at Triple Mania. So I feel like Black Taurus definitely deserves a spot on the power rankings. He didn't make it this week, but maybe he'll make it next week.
I really want to see, and I think the only reason that they weren't on the show, I want to see Bullet Club on the rankings. I think that they were the only reason that they're not on the show this week is to what happened. And real quick, as I'm going to look in the dictionary, I'm going to pull up the dictionary real quick. And under the definition of not too sweet, it says Ace Austin getting taken out in the parking lot. That's what it says. I don't know what happened, but I didn't like it. And I hope we can – I like where this is going, though, because that shows that there's a storyline. There's, you know, who took him out. It might be Rikishi. He could have done it for The Rock again. You know, people that's very old school. I don't know if people remember that. But
showing our ages, Bart. We're showing our ages.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing where that goes. So that's another just little thing the Impact's doing. So I hope maybe see Bullet Club in there next week.
So just to piggyback off what you said, I'm actually kind of glad. At first I was annoyed that it wasn't Ace and Bay, but I'm actually kind of glad Juice Robinson stepped in, because that would have meant either Ace or Bay would have taken the pin in this match. And I'm so glad it was Juice Robinson that took the pin for Bullet Club. So
which I'm upset still, though. I don't like Bullet Club taking L's, especially I don't think Tommy Dreamer and Bully Ray needed to win, but that's neither here or there. That's fine.
We'll have that conversation a different time, because there is a whole lot we could say about that.
Yeah.
But is there anything else you want to say or add before we get ready to sign off?
No, just I would say that, like, coming off Bound for Glory, which is an unsuccessful show, just as Impact resets, you just should pay attention, because new storylines are starting, and you want to basically see their origin stories on how they start. So pay attention to Impact.
I think that a lot of people need to stop sleeping on Impact Wrestling. They always sleep on Impact Wrestling. And I think it's time that people stop paying a little bit more attention. Like you said, this is a complete reset. This is a complete reset as to what's been going on. And, you know, or going towards the end of 2022. And yeah. I'm very curious to see where everybody ends up on the power rankings for the end of the year. But I'm actually really excited for 2023. I cannot wait to see what Impact has in store for us. But with that being said, you guys, thank you guys all so much for watching and for the continuous support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever this video drops or whenever TNAIW releases a video. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.